Good morning, we are Amicus Technologies. Now, every day we as consumers are exposed to a lot of information. We hear about extremely low prices, we hear about discounts, we hear about smartphones which have features worth rupees 50,000 but coming at 15,000. And whenever we hear all this, the first thing that comes to our mind is what is the catch? We at Amicus Technologies believe that we need to help consumers zoom in and zoom out and to be able to make better decisions. To this end, we are using predictive analytics to disrupt a 30 billion US dollar market by helping more than 450 million consumers in India make smarter decisions when they make high value purchases. Now, since we're talking about helping, let's zoom in and understand how and why do they need this help. The consumers need help because there is a lack of information to make quick and informed decisions. Let us take an example. You're buying a new laptop. Now, do you know what its lifetime value, how quickly it will start hanging or overheating? Or do you know what is covered under the warranty? Or is the seller authorized? Finally, of course, you don't have any information about if there are any service centers close by, what is the service, what is the turnaround time, what is the cost of spare parts. Now, the beauty of this is that all of this information is available. It is available, but it's scattered all over the internet. And of course, it exists in the forms of reviews and rating. And that's probably why you're wondering. I'll just probably read the reviews and ratings. And that's where the crux of the problem lies. Let's zoom in on reviews and rating. Now, the problem with reviews and ratings are very simple and it's threefold. They're just too many to process and understand. For a single smartphone like for a Samsung Galaxy S5, there are 10,000 reviews spread over 15 different websites. Secondly, of course, you don't have any time to read and find relevant information, as I've outlined in the last slide. So, of course, there is a velocity problem. And then finally, and most importantly, is the trust issue. We know how commonplace paid reviews are. Recently, Amazon has taken a bunch of reviewers to court because they were writing paid reviews. A lot of these companies also force their consumers to delete their negative reviews. So all in all, we realize that it's a threefold problem in reviews and ratings. Now, the question on your mind, of course, is how are we disrupting this industry? Why don't we zoom in on disrupt? The very simple solution that we have come up with is that we need to convert qualitative information to quantitative information. Let me deconstruct this. We collect social and complaints chatter from all over the internet, and this is a ton of information out there. We extract relevant risk factors using machine learning, and this is where our proprietary technology comes into play. And finally, we convert it into potential cost to consumer. Now, this is where things get a little interesting. You remember that famous Maruti ad where there was a rich man buying a yacht, there was another man buying a big tank, and he asked the question, "Kitna deti hai?" We realized that the best way we can help the Indian consumer make decisions is to tell them कि कितना देती है. And this is how we came up with this concept known as the real cost of a purchase. Now allow me to simply deconstruct.
Rahul loves shopping online, but he has no clue about the risk of how quickly what he bought can break down. Do you know how much it will cost you to find a service center or how costly the spare parts are going to be? Do you even know what rights you have when something goes wrong, like warranty, etc.? Do you know the response of the company when you try and enforce your rights? They may take weeks to respond to you, or not at all. It's very easy to find the cheapest price, but what about the real cost? You can combine risks, rights, and response collected by analyzing more than 5 million complaints. Imagine if you could do the same automatically, only if you could compare the real cost to decide what to buy and from where. Wouldn't it save you a lot of time and money? Amicus it before you buy it. The safest shopping experience.
The cheapest price, and you can also find information about reviews and ratings. So given this, why don't I take you through the product demo? And this is where things get extremely interesting for us. Now, let me just show you how we're capturing the imagination of the consumer as well as giving them an immediate solution. Now, this is how our homepage looks. It's very nice and clean. We give you an option to enter your budget, wherein you tell us that this is the range within which I'm looking for a phone, or you tell us directly what type of information you're looking for. So let's say we select a range 40 to 45,000. The minute we process this information, a lot of it is done in real time, a lot of this is static. You get ranking based on Amic rank, as you can see, and these are phones between 40 and 45,000. When you scroll down, you will see all the phones in this range, and you can look at the risks, which is everything that can go wrong. The rights, which is what is covered in the T's and C's, what is covered under the warranty. And finally, of course, you can look at response, which is how the company responds to your complaints, what is their turnaround time, and so on and so forth. Now, when you scroll down, you can look at all the features, you can look at all the other type of rankings. For example, in this instance, you can compare which has a better camera, or who has a better battery, or which has a better processor. Let's say you click on risk, you can look at all the different types of information such as device overheating, and if you click at the reviews it has been aggregated from, you can see the entire dump. Let's say you're somebody who doesn't want to leave the heavy duty to us, you can go down and dig deep into all these reviews which have been collected from multiple sources. Like in this instance, we've collected from information from Mouseshare, from Facebook. All of this information has been aggregated, more than 2,000 reviews, and they have been simplified to give you what is really relevant to you. Now, if you go back to the product page, in this case, you'll be able to quickly click on sellers and look at the best sellers for this product. What this allows you to do is if you scroll down, you will see different sellers also ranked on the three risk, rights, and response parameters. And you can click on buy, and you'll be straight away taken to the purchase page, and you can complete the transaction. Now, this is how a product demo looks at the moment. Of course, there's a mobile product, but due to paucity of time, I'll leave that for later. Why don't at this stage we focus on understanding how a product is going to evolve? Now, it is important that we've begun with a search engine model, but the future of product discovery lies in automation. So if you look at this particular graph, you will see that right now we are a text-based search engine. When we are evolving into an image and voice-based search, where eventually it becomes a natural language input which acts just like Siri. Siri, I'm looking for a new laptop, and the way you use it is you can immediately convert it into a quick search engine result. On the automation side, we're looking at automating the detection, wherein you're researching on a Flipkart page, you're researching on an Amazon page, and a browser extension immediately tells you alternatives which are better. Now, all in all, this increases the convenience to the user and redefines the way people perceive product discovery. Now, I earlier talked about that we're looking at high value purchases, and I showed you a product demo just for smartphones. But we're also looking at a lot of other verticals where issues such as risk and rights and response are extremely relevant. We looked at electronics. We also have financial products where the problem of hidden costs, interest rates, and exceptions are very common. There are other categories. This is, of course, automobiles and not electronics. We have travel and we have real estate. All of these verticals have their own unique issues where these are huge markets where this problem is very common. The problem of too much information for the consumer to consume and not being able to make better decisions. Now, we've gave you a value proposition. We've told you there are more than 450 million consumers. Now, let's look at how we're using this technology to help these consumers. Now, this is a proprietary technology. We've figured out a method to convert large amounts of qualitative reviews and complaints into quantitative risk-weighted cost. In terms of the three parameters where you can judge our technology on volume, velocity, and veracity, we have revolutionary headway in terms of the amount of reviews that we've collected, the speed at which we are curating them, and the accuracy with which we are eliminating fake and paid reviews. Now let's zoom out again. Now we have talked about a lot of big ideas, but we need to get back to what is most important, which is the consumer. Now, in terms of consumer validation, we launched a beta around 2 months back. We've done a lot of iterations, and we've seen a lot of consumers landing on our website and spending anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes trying to research this information. And this was for us a great development. Similarly, on our Twitter channel, where there's a lot of engagement, we have more than 2 lakh impressions as of now. And this is in a very small period of time that we've gotten a lot of attention from people. Because, see, there are people who are sad about all this and they need a solution. Finally, coming to validation of our technology, all of you are aware about Help Chat. Now, Help Chat, surprisingly, and this was a great deal of validation for us, they reached out to us for an API integration. They told us that we have experts sitting, but the intelligence is lacking, and you guys have a technology which we can use to really power the Help Chat shopping assistant channel. We are in talks with them in exploring uh, this conversation. All in all, this these many consumers needing such a solution leads to a huge market opportunity. We are at an intersection of three different markets. We're looking at predictive analytics and business intelligence at one side, product and service discovery at one side, and consumer protection and this extended warranty space on one. And we are at an overlapping market. You may ask if there are similar products, and I will not have any answers because what we're doing is truly revolutionary. But there are a lot of allied markets. Akosha tried this, but Akosha was more of a corrective solution. It was after a complaint has arisen. We are more of a preventive solution. And the closest competition you would say therefore will be Help Chat. But as we earlier discussed that we are building the technology where Help Chat is building the distribution network. So there are different focuses there. We of course have TripAdvisor and Yelp in the US, which have tried to do something similar, but they failed because of the whole problem of fake and paid reviews. Yelp, of course, wasn't able to do that well, and therefore it's kind of a hybrid model in terms of a market opportunity. Now I've told you about this exciting market. We've told you about how we're using extremely amazing technology and how we're solving a real problem, but I haven't told you who we are. Now, we are an extremely well balanced team. I'm a business guy. I have started and exited two different startups. I have extreme expertise. I worked with Fortune 500 companies in the risk modeling department, and I have a keen understanding of consumers in this particular space given my legal background. Nishchil here is a stud product guy. He has been a product manager at Amicus. He has built two enterprise level apps. He's worked with Make My Trip. He was there at IIM Ahmedabad for the bootcamp. He's worked in a B2B startup. He's the guy handling the development. We have Nikhil, who has worked in a big data analytics startup. He is the data scientist of the team. The engine that you see has been driven by him. We have Dr. Aditya Devsood, who is the first investor and advisor. He has 15 years of experience in building companies. Thank you so much for listening to us. As we said, we're building something extremely exciting, and we have a lot of soft commits and a lot of interesting conversations going on with a lot of investors and partnerships. And if you think what we're doing is exciting, please, we'd love to have a conversation with you. Thank you. Thank you so much.